Morning students, we are going to see biotic factors. The name of the lesson is Principles of Ecology. In that lesson we have seen about the definitions of the ecology and what are the factors that affect the ecology, the temperature, the climatic factors, edaphic factors, topographic factors and biotic factors. In climatic factors we have seen about the climate means what the natural factors including the that will control the plant life. Those things we have seen in the climatic factors. The climatic factors includes light, temperature, water, air and wind. And what are the effects of the lights on the plant, temperature on the plant and the water on the plant. All these things we have seen in the climatic factors. In edaphic factors is that is related to the soil, that is pedology. The study of soils is pedology and how the soil is formed and what are the reaction when the moisture content in the soil, the temperature of the soil, what are the organisms that are present in the soil. If the soil is salty, what are the organisms found, those things we have seen. And topographic factors we have seen about the features on the surface of the earth, that is topography, the latitudes and the altitudes. And the temperature vary, what are the temperatures that will vary according to the equator, presence near to the equator it will increase, and when you are going away from the equator it will decrease. And then due to these factors the vegetations at the different altitudes they will vary based on the zonation. And in the sea, when you see the water, the edge will possess some different kind of plants, and in the depth area we will see some different kind of plants. So there is a difference in the same area. So all these things we have seen in the previous classes. Now we will move to the biotic. Bio means what? Living. Here the interaction among the living organism, plants and the animals, that is called as the biotic factors. It will cause marked effect upon the vegetations. The effect may be either direct effect or indirect effect. The effect may be either direct. Direct means what? You can see it visibly. The changes can be noticed visibly, whereas in indirect it cannot be seen. So the effects may be direct or indirect. The plants mostly which lives together in a community and influence one another. What here they are saying is when you see plant in a community, there is an influence between the plants. When you see the animals and the plants, there is also some influence. Those things we are going to see in the biotic factors. Those things are represented by the word interaction. There are two types of interactions. What are the interactions means? One is called as the positive interaction and next is called as the negative interaction. That is in the next page. So positive means what? The name itself reveals that positive means what? That both are benefited. From the word positive, what we are going to see is the positive word represents the beneficiary. Positive means what? When you will tell positive, when something is gained, nothing is harmed, so you will tell that it is a positive thing. So similarly in this positive interaction, what is the definition is saying is when one or both the participant species are benefited. So I told you, they are gaining, so they are benefited. It is known as positive interaction. So an example for this positive interaction is mutualism and commensalism. What do you mean by mutualism? Mutual, the literal meaning of mutual is when two friends are mutually very close, what they will tell? Mutual understanding. That means when both the partners or both the friends, they are very close and there is no misunderstanding, they are mutually understanding friends. Similarly in plants also, if the interaction between the two species of the organism in which both are benefited, the word here given is both benefited. If both are benefited, it is known as mutualism. The common examples for mutualism is nitrogen fixation, Rhizobium bacterium. What happens? This bacteria, this forms the nodules, the root nodules in the leguminous plants. When you take the leguminous plants, you can see the root nodules. The root nodules are seen inside the leguminous plants like this. What is the work of this root nodules is These nodules contains rhizobium bacterium. This rhizobium bacterium, it will fix the atmospheric nitrogen present in the air. The atmospheric nitrogen is fixed in the soil by this bacterium. So what happens? This bacterium will fix the atmospheric nitrogen inside the soil, and this plants will take the nitrogen from the soil itself. Okay, so the plant is benefited. Okay, the rhizobium here and the rhizobium bacterium, it will get the food from this plant. It is gaining the food from this plant, and what in turn it is doing? It is fixing the nitrogen for the growth of the plant, for that is available for the host. Host means what? Where the bacterium is living. This is called as the host. That plant is known as the host. We can see other examples also. The other examples for mutualism is water fern and the nitrogen fixing cyanobacterium, Anabaena present in the colloid roots of cycas, and cyanobacterium, the other name is nostac, that is found in the thalloid body of Anthocerus, and wasp present in the fruits of the fig. In the fig plant, you can see the wasp means what? That will have the, it's like similar to the butterfly. Lichen is a mutual association of an alga and fungi. So lichen is what? It is a mutual association of the alga and fungi. When the alga and fungi, they are close to each other, there is a mutual association that forms the lichens. And then the roots of the terrestrial plants and fungal hypha, mycorrhizae. Those things are the examples of the for the mutual interaction, mutualism. Next thing is commensalism. Commensalism means the same thing, because it comes under the positive interaction. So what do you mean by that? So both are benefited. Both what here in mutualism, both are benefited. In commensalism, one is benefited and the other is not harmed. But it is not, but also neither it is benefited nor harmed. So what they are telling is it is not harmed. That is the word we have to take into account. So interaction between two organisms in which one is benefited and the other is neither benefited nor harmed. So the species that derives the benefit, if one thing is gaining something, that is known as the commensal, while the other species where it lives, that is called as the host. Okay, that is a common example for the we have got many examples for commensalism that we will see. Now you might have learned about the velamen tissue. We are going to see in that in the next topic. Epiphytes. Epiphytes means what? These are the plants that grow on the other plant with the help of the velamen tissue. As a spongy velamen tissue, they have the hygroscopic roots. With that type of roots, they get the water from the atmosphere. It will not affect the host plant in any way, but it will not at all affect. It will get the nutrients from the atmosphere and it will prepare its own food. It will not at all depend on the host, but only thing it is getting from the host is the support. It is only getting the support. So I repeat one more time, the epiphytic plants are the plants that grows on the other plant without harming them. They are not harming, only they are getting the support. In other way, they are growing in this plant and they are getting the nutrients and the water required from the atmosphere and not from this plant. So through the velamen tissue, this thing you have to mention, the velamen tissue has to be mentioned in this topic. And the examples is the orchids, linnaeus, hanging mosses, peperomia, money plant, and another some of the examples of the epiphytes. And Spanish moss, tillandsia grows on the bark of oak and pine trees. These are the examples for epiphytes. Next we will move to the negative interaction. Negative interaction means what? The species, one is benefited and the other is harmed. So here comes the negative thing. So here harmed, it is harmed, one is harmed, that is called as negative interaction. The examples are predation, parasitism, competition and amensalism. These are the examples for negative interaction. So predation means what? It is an interaction between two species in which one captures, kills and eat up the, for example, I can give this as a tiger and the deer. The tiger is the predator and the prey is the deer. Similarly, we can take that in the plant also. We can see insectivorous plants. What are insectivorous plants? These plants will eat the insect and get the nourishment from the insect. These are called as insectivorous plants. Okay. The examples for these insectivorous plants are Drosera, pitcher plant, and Venus flytrap, Utricularia. What will happen means they will trap the insect. They will have some they will secrete a juicy fluid inside the body, where this fluid will attract the insect. When the insect gets into it, it will close it and it will swallow the insect. From that insect, it will get the nutrients for the growth. So these are called as a source of nitrogen. So these are called as insectivorous plants. Many herbivores also called as predators. Why predators? Camel, goats, they will feed on the plants, and then herbs, shrubs, and generally animals suffer from more than the perennials, and grazing and browsing may also cause remarkable changing in the vegetation. Because of that, the grazing the field might cause a reduction in the growth of the plant. 95% of all the insects are known as phytophagous. Phytophagous means what? Feeds on the plant sap and other parts of the plant. Though it is doing, some plants will have the defense mechanism. You might have seen in the why the cactus is having the thorns, to prevent from the by eaten up by the animals, and also it will store the water. That is the other way, but it will help the plant to survive, not to get caught by the other animals. The Calotropis, tobacco produces a nicotine, caffeine, and the defense mechanism means they will avoid the predations by the plants. So the defense mechanism are evolved to avoid the predation by the plants. Example, Calotropis, it will secrete a highly poisonous cardiac, and then tobacco produces nicotine, cinchona produces quinine. All these things are poisonous for the other animals. Next is parasitism. We will continue that in the next class.